Okay, let's say this is what you have in an exam and they want you to prove that left hand side is equal to right hand side. So you see this is where we have the equal sign. So now you need to first check which side is more complicated, because this side is your left hand side and this is your right hand side. So the most complicated side is left hand side. So that's the side we're going to work with. Left hand side, it's equals to, let's work on this. We know that on top, for the first one, we have sine theta. So I'm going to leave it like that and write this as sine theta all over. So I need to change something here. So now let's talk about, I'm going to have 1 plus, let's talk about the sine of 90 plus theta. So remember, if I have a cast diagram like this, and this is 90 degrees, this is 0, this is 180, this is 270, and I have this as 360. First thing first, if I'm from point 90, I add something. Can you see that I'm trying to go to 180? So this tells you that 90 plus is in quadrant 2. Then you're going to check how is sine in quadrant 2. Sine is positive. But now because of this is 90, sine changes to cos. Why? This is a cofunction. Sine changes to cos, cos changes to sine. But for this problem, we are given sine of 90. So this, first thing first to check, where is 90 plus theta? Quadrant 2. How is this sine in quadrant 2 is positive? This will change into positive, the cos of theta. So now we are done with the first part of the fraction. Let's go to the second part of the fraction. We have this, you know, I like these negative angles. They will always put them on your problem just to confuse you. So now, if you can check, negative angle, it's always in quadrant 4. Negative theta is in quadrant 4. What you have to do, you need to check how is, remember, we say all student teach commerce. You need to tell us how is sine in quadrant 4. Sine in quadrant 4 is negative, so this will be negative the sine of theta. Then we need to reduce the bottom part, which will be 1 minus. Can you see? We still have the negative angle again, but remember, this time is cos of that negative angle. How is cos in quadrant 4? Cos is positive, so this will be the cos of theta. So now you've managed to work this thing out, but now I need to change something just to save time. Can you see that these two negatives will cancel and it will be like negative times negative, which will give us positive. So I'm just gonna erase this negative inside the bracket, that negative there, so we can write this as positive. So when you are proving and you have two fractions, you need to find what we call LCD, the lowest common denominator. Please don't make mistake. Né? The lowest common denominator is the product of your denominators. You have to take your denominators, you need to multiply them. So these are my denominators. I'm going to multiply these two. That's your LCD. But if we had another 1 minus the cos of theta, we don't do it twice. We only let me give you a quick example. 1 over x plus into 1 minus x plus or minus 1 over x. Can you see we have x, x. So our LCD will just be x times 1 minus x only. This x, we don't multiply it twice, only once. I hope everybody is happy with that. So if we have our LCD, we need to multiply everything by LCD. Then when you are done, divide whatever you get with that LCD. Let's start. We're going to multiply this guy here by LCD. I'm going to take this. I'm going to multiply it by LCD. So if I multiply that by LCD, let's see what we get. We're going to have this as, we take LCD, which is 1 plus the cos of theta into 1 minus the cos of theta. We need to multiply that whole fraction, which is the sine theta, over 1 plus the cos theta. Then you close the bracket, you write that the positive sign here. Then you do the same with the other fraction. You take your LCD, 1 plus the cos theta into 1 minus the cos theta. You need to multiply that whole fraction, which is the sine theta, over 1 minus the cos theta. So now, when you are done, you need to take everything. You need to take everything here. Divide everything by what? Divide everything by your LCD. Okay, this is going to be easy now because we can see that other things here will be cancelling out. Let's try and check this. Can you see this? 1 plus the cos theta will cancel with that one. So what am I left with? We are left with here on top, what do we have? We have 1 minus the cos theta into the sine theta. Right. Plus, we have another things that will cancel. I'm going to explain this cancelling part next. I'm going to explain this and that will cancel. What do we have there? We are left with this 1 plus the cos theta into the sine of theta. So let me explain the cancelling part. If I have A, which is multiplied by B over A, can you see that this is the same as AB over A? Because this is over 1, we row multiply. A times B, it's AB. 1 times A, it's A. So these two guys will cancel. So no need for you to get to that part. You can just say this and that cancel. This is what we do. This and that cancel. Easy. So now, remember on bottom from this equation, okay, on bottom we still have our LCD. So I would like us to multiply out the brackets also for LCD. Let's start on top. Okay, let's rewrite our LCD so that everyone can be with me on that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here, let's start. I need to multiply everything this side by what? I need to multiply everything by sine. So sine times 1 is just the sine theta. Sine times negative cos theta is just negative sine theta, the cos of theta. We have plus. Let's multiply everything inside this bracket by what? By the sine theta. So it's 1 times sine theta, which is sine theta. And then we have plus cos theta, sine theta will give us sine theta, the cos theta. Everything is divided by, let's multiply the bracket on bottom. So this will be 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times minus cos theta is minus the cos of theta. Cos theta times 1 is positive, the cos theta. So what I need you guys to do, I need you to sit down, multiply out the brackets and verify everything that I'm currently doing. So when you are in these steps, you can see that you are almost getting the answer that you are looking for. So this will cancel with that because we add the like terms. Can you see it's minus sine theta cos theta plus sine theta cos theta. So now I have the like terms of sine and sine. So if you add those two, will give you 2, the sine theta. Everything is divided by this guy and that guy will cancel because these are the like terms, but they have different signs. So now when we keep on moving, we have 1 minus the cos squared theta. So this will be 1 minus the cos squared theta. Remember, we are looking for 2 on top, sine on bottom. So this tells you that we have the 2, but now 1 minus cos. Remember, if I have the sine squared of theta plus the cos squared of theta, this is 1. We can therefore make what? The cos squared subject of the formula and say cos theta is equals to, the sine will go to the other side. So this will be 1 minus the sine squared theta. So where we see 1 minus the sine squared theta, we can put cos squared theta. We can do the same for cos, for sine. So this tells you that the sine squared of theta will be 1 minus the cos squared theta. So now I'm just going to write this as 2, the sine theta over what? Over the sine squared theta. But remember, the denominator is the same as if I write this as 2 the sine theta over the sine theta, because it's sine squared theta is sine theta times sine theta, so that these two can cancel. I'm left with 2 over the sine theta. Then you can celebrate now and say, you know what, I got, therefore, you can say, therefore, I have left hand side is equals to right hand side. I hope everyone is happy with how we did this. But now if we can do a quick recap, is that make sure that you do the reduction. That's the first step. When you have the reduction, find your LCD, multiply everything by your LCD. The answer that you get, you divide it by LCD, then you'll start multiplying out the brackets. That's the steps that you need to do, you see. But now, explaining this, how many marks do we have for this problem? This is 6 marks. Okay, so when you work with this type of question, please make sure that if it's 6 marks, at least spend 5 marks on that question.